What's going on, guys? Now I'm a little annoyed 'cause this is my third time trying to do this video. First time I got a call and it terminated the video, and then the second time I ran out of storage. But I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. As you can see by the title up above, this video is pertaining to unprotected sex. Sex without birth control, and more importantly, condoms. And this is for men and women. You know what I'm saying? Now, um, first and foremost, I want to tell a little story about myself because one of the main refutations I hear to justify why um, people have unprotected sex is that, for one, they believe that their pullout game is sufficient enough that they won't get a girl pregnant. And first and foremost, when you have unprotected sex, regardless if you pull out correctly or not, you're still risking getting an STI. And I'm going to talk about this more on my second point with my story, but you're still risking getting a sexually transmitted infection. Whether or not you get her pregnant or not will not protect you from getting chlamydia. It will not protect you from getting contracting HIV, gonorrhea, scabies, whatever the case may be. So, for you to even be risking contracting all of these diseases, um, simply because you think you can pull out, you're silly. Just because you think it can't happen to you, it's a foolish outlook to have. And not just that, but there have been an innumerable amount of men throughout history who talk just like you. They look just like you. They fuck the same kind of girls that you fuck. They fuck the same amount of girls that you fucked. And each single one of these guys believed that they would be able to pull out. But how many men over the age of 30, definitely 40 years old, but hell, a lot of men don't even make it to 21 years old. They're going through their teenage years and through their 20s, with pregnancy scares and actual unwanted pregnancies. The girl didn't want to get an abortion or whatever the case may be. How many men do you know like that who said they tried to pull out but they just didn't in time? You're not different than any of those men. You sound the exact same as as the same way that they sounded. Um, you know, you're gambling every time you do that. Every time you go into a woman raw, not only are you facing potential consequences with sexual transmitted infections, but you're risking getting her pregnant. There's always going to be a time where you can't pull out. Maybe she's riding you like a horse jockey and you tell her to get up and she don't get up. Now you've ejaculated inside this girl and now you're going to be stressed out for the next few weeks, and you're begging her to take the plan B in this and she don't want to take it, and now you have a child on your hands. That can be you. It's happened to a countless amount of men before you. It's going to happen after you, and it's happening right now, and you can be the next one for that to happen to. For you to even have that mindset, it's foolish. And the same, and to honestly believe a female when she tells you that she's on the pill, or that her body count is low, or she's a virgin, or whatever the case may be, for you to honestly risk having an unwanted child, for you to honestly risk catching a sexually transmitted infection, or possibly both, just because what the fuck a bitch said, you're stupid, you're naive, you're ignorant, you're feeble-minded, you're dumb, you're a nincompoop, because women lie. Women have the potential to lie. And for you to honestly think that she wouldn't lie to you, no, she wouldn't lie to me, you're an idiot. And it goes both ways. And in reverse, for all you women who are risking having an unwanted child, you're risking catching sexually transmitted diseases just because of how he looks and what he said to you. He's saying that he's going to pull out and all of this. You're stupid. You really are. Like I said, you're gambling. You're rolling the dice every single time that you decide to enter somebody without a condom, or you allow somebody to enter you without a condom, regardless of if you're on the pill or not. Um, but just jumping right into my story, man. I was 16 years ago. This was 30 years ago. I was 16, and I had fellatio performed on me 3 times before I met this particular girl that I'm about to tell you about. Now, when I met this girl, she told me that she had only had sex with one person 2 times, And, even to this day, I believe her. For some reasons that I'm not even going to talk about right now, but I believe her. We were both 16 and I had her. I believe her. But I performed cunnilingus on her. I ate her pussy 3 times. Now, she is the only girl to this day who can honestly say that I ate her pussy. And I did. I did it 3 times. She is the only girl breathing that could say I ate her pussy. But, at the time, I was young. I wanted to experiment and I just tried it 3 times. And from those 3 times and the brief 2 minutes that we had sex one time, which I did use a condom, but from that, can you imagine that I almost caught herpes from this girl? She told me one time that the person that she had previously had sex with, who also went to our high school, he ended up contracting herpes. And he had it, and he had sex with her maybe 6 months before I had sex with her, and I ate her pussy. And had he had sex with her just a month later, she would have contracted herpes, which in turn I would have contracted herpes most likely. And we both got tested, and I didn't have, or we both didn't have it, just because the timelines didn't add up. But to think to myself that I would have caught herpes not only with the first girl that I ever had vaginal penetration with, but the very first girl that I ate, whose pussy I ate, I would have caught herpes. It has nothing to do with how many people you sleep with. It has nothing to do with the quality of girl that you're sleeping with. You know what I'm saying? This girl wasn't a hoe. She had sex with one other person. But that one person, that one time, could have given her herpes. Just like that one time that I went inside her, I could have caught herpes. It has nothing to do with numbers. It's not a numbers game. Now, of course, if you're having sex often, of course, you're more likely to contract the disease or have an unwanted pregnancy. But it can happen your very first time having sex ever. The very first time you have sex, you are still rolling the dice. So, I just wanted to tell that story. I think I'm about to run out of storage soon. This is why I ran out on the last time I tried to record. But, I might do a part two, but I just wanted to tell you people, man, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Um, it's not worth it. I know condom sex doesn't feel that good. And me personally, I've never had raw sex. And I also just want to throw this in there right quick. I'm not going to disclose any numbers, but out of all the girls that I've had sex with, only one has asked me to put on a condom. And just 10 minutes later with her, she was begging me to have sex without the condom. So, that should tell you right there that girls aren't having protected sex. And a lot of those girls, about half of them, not only did they not ask me to have use a condom, but they looked at me kind of funny when I pulled the condom out. Or beforehand, they told me, "Well, I want it just to be skin to skin with us. I'm on the pill. I want it to be more sensual and more connected and things like that." So these girls aren't using condoms. They're not making men use condoms, and you niggas aren't using condoms. And both of you are foolish, and both of you are equally guilty. And like I said, man, sexually transmitted diseases are real. I told you my little personal experience. This wasn't a hoe that I almost caught this with. And you think in your mind, man, I'm too fly, or I'm too important to catch a disease or get a girl pregnant. But that's what everybody else said before you, and that's what they're gonna keep saying after you until the end of time. So I appreciate y'all watching, man. Hopefully y'all learned something from this. And I know a lot of you can relate. I know a lot of you have already had unwanted pregnancies or certain pregnancy scares, and a lot of you have caught diseases. Because I know a lot of y'all personally that watch my videos, male and female, and y'all